find it really useful to give people as much information about the whole process the whole way along, so they've got a real understanding of the things that can happen along the way.
Hi, thanks for clicking play on this episode of The Remarkable Regional Business. I'm Caleb Maxwell, and my guests today are Kate and Todd Newman from Todd Newman Builders. They are, unlike a large volume builder and unlike a really small solo operator, Todd Newman Builders have found a little wedge of the market that they sit really comfortably in. And they've been doing that for 20 years and doing it really, really well, with some of their employees being with them for 15 years plus. So I hope you enjoy this episode. I loved getting an insight into their story. They share so openly and vulnerably about it and share some really great wisdom. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Kate, Todd, thank you so much for joining me in the studio. This is super, super cool to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to be here.
Yeah, we're very excited to be here today.
Woo. The Todd Newman story. This is going to be really, really fun. I want to start off. Can you give our listeners just an overview of what is your business and what does it look like from a location, a scale kind of perspective?
Look, our business is 85% residential building, Bendigo. Born and bred here, are very passionate about the town, very passionate about building. We run a light commercial market as well, which is really good. We're more about fit out work and all that, not really the big structural stuff. And that really kicked off our career back in the day a bit as well, the commercial wing, I suppose.
Nice.
So most of our work now is Bendigo and surrounds. Did a job in Charlton last year, Maryborough. We've done a job in Gisborne before, just our set plans and custom homes. That's probably about as far as we travel, I suppose. We run a team of 8 carpenters. There's 6 behind the scenes, including Kate and I, in management and all that sort of thing. We've got very long-term staff. And we have, give or take, 70 people on T&B work every day.
Wow. Yeah. And how has the scale of staff and houses per year, projects a year, changed and fluctuated over the years? Can you tell me a little bit about how long you've been at this kind of headcount and scale?
Well, I guess we started 21 years ago, and like every small business, we had no idea what we were getting into. So, and it's just really been a slow progression. Like, we didn't go in and, take on the world. We've sort of just gone with the flow around how the business progresses and then brought in staff as needed as we've gone along. So it's been a really, I would say, a real good, solid flow work trajectory. Not really planned, but it's just sort of naturally and organically gone that way. So it's been really good.
It sounds like you've taken the opportunities as they come and capitalised on the right ones. Tell me, how many projects do you do roughly a year?
That's a really good question. I often say this, and this is with the change off the back of COVID and the economy and that. I go generally off the calendar year. So 5 years ago, we laid 27 house slabs, which absolutely stretched our resources. That was off the back of the free government money when a lot of builders ran into a lot of trouble as well. Yeah. The year before that, we did 23, but they were more our mid-range set plan homes. Yeah. Last year, we laid 14 slabs, and we were busier than we were with 27.
Wow! So how does that work?
The houses are just bigger. Yep. It's the people who are building the houses. Yep. And even in our set plan range, it's more not the mid-range of set plan or the bottom end, it's more the top end, spec'd up really highly. Oh. My young fella's an apprentice for us, and we built a first builder's home in Harcourt last year, which we're really proud to do that as well. And he said, Dad, why are the ceiling heights this height and why are the doors this low? And I said, mate, that's actually normal. He doesn't see, it's not the architectural world, it's just more the high-end residential world. So yeah, it goes on a fluctuating scale, doesn't it, Kate? Depending on the size of the build.
Yeah, whether it's a custom build or whether it's a set plan, there's a difference between the two. So yeah.
Tell me about the wider industry, building industry, and like the different types of models that you see builders running with, and where you fit into the market, I suppose.
Yeah, so I guess we fit into the market in that we're not your project home builder, but we can offer a set plan option, which is more beneficial for the client if they haven't got a big budget but they want to get into the market. And then we offer a custom home market where people can come to us. We help them design their home to suit their wants and needs, and what their budget is, basically. But that's often more expensive to do. So there is a difference, but people get into the market for different reasons, whether it's just to start out or whether it is to build your forever home. Everyone's different. So we sort of try and cater for both of those markets, and we probably got into the set plan market because we wanted to diversify and have a different offering for people. So it's been really a really positive part of our business. But our only issue is people still see us as quite expensive because we put on social media, of course, you put all your pretty pictures.
Yeah.
And look, all of our pictures are pretty, whether it's a $500,000 house or whether it's $1 million house. So we're at the moment trying to work really hard on getting people to understand that they look amazing, and yes, you can build an affordable home that's going to look amazing. We're going to help you do that.
Yes.
So that's sort of probably where we're at the moment. And, you know, we've done the architectural homes. They're a totally different kettle of fish again. Really technical, really hard. And we probably really love to sit in our high-end custom residential market. That's probably our sweet spot for us as a business.
Love it.
Kate said that perfectly. It was, the set plan range was, we were getting perceived as top end expensive. We probably bought them out 10 years ago now. It's the best thing we ever did. We wanted Bendigo to understand that we are an affordable builder and we are competitive with any volume builder. So that Kate, corrected that beautifully. So
Love that. Yeah, well, I've definitely seen a bunch of your work over the years, and we might wind back the clock a little bit, but I think, when was it? I told a little story about your win of the Business of the Year. When was that? Bendigo Business of the Year?
2016, we won that.
16.
Yeah.
Wow. And so I told a little bit of your story through that little video and filmed a bit of your work, and it's quite amazing. And I'd love to know what you think about how many houses you will have built over 20 years in and around Bendigo. Can you drive anywhere without seeing what, like, one, or like it's down there, or there's one project down there? Like, what does it feel like to have that legacy still standing in?
Feels awesome. Like, I reckon the kids get sick of me saying, "Oh, we built that," or "We did that one down there."
And we honestly really remember every client we built for. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is a very personable experience, and, we'll go, "Oh, I wonder what those people are up to," And it's funny because we had our 20-year in business celebration earlier on in the year, and I actually went back. I can't remember off the top of my head now, but I actually did add up the number of houses, and it was in the 200s.
It was about 230 homes, 60 or 70 reno extensions. I think it was 330 contracts we'd done.
Yeah, and we've bought through 22 apprentices. So, it was actually really, I went, oh my gosh, I didn't realise we'd done that much work. Yeah. So when you actually look at it, we're really proud of that,
It's quite a legacy, not just in the project side of things, but 22 apprentices. That's 22 qualified chippies and just carpenters, or that are now, who knows where they are now, but you've been responsible and helped the flow through of the industry there and training good people.
Super proud of that.
Yeah, very cool. I want to hear a little bit about the growth journey, right? So where did you start, and what was the outlook when you started? You know, you said you started in business and you didn't really know what you were getting yourself into. Take us back there, and like if you can wind it back, what was the vision and the dream when you first started?
Well, I think the vision and dream was Todd, like I've said to people, Todd just walked in when I think I want to start my own business. He'd been working for people for a long time. He was a carpenter, I was a nurse. He then had to get his registration, which was a big process. That's like having a piece of gold now because it's actually really hard to become a building practitioner. So it took us about 12 months to get through that process. And then from there, we started just, winning one job, winning two jobs. We had a 1-year-old at the time, and then every 2.5 years we had a baby. So we added children into at the same time as our business growth. So it was madness. I wasn't really computer literate back then. I had to learn how to do our accounts. I had no idea. I've still got a story of when we went into our accountant's office one day and he said to me, Kate, this isn't for you. You're not meant to be doing this. And I'm like, oh, goodness. So I sort of realised that, we needed a bookkeeper. So then a bookkeeper come on, and then we just sort of, a few jobs a year. We had a few carpenters working for us. And then it's just, like I said, organically grown as we've needed more help and assistance. But our office was from home. We had babies on the floor. We had children running around and people coming and going from our house for the first 10 years. So we didn't move into our office that we've got now until we were 10 years into our business. And then we eventually moved it from home, got our office in town, which was the best thing ever. And then we could sort of keep growing our business from there because we had a centralised point that people drive past. They can see our brand. So that's sort of how it all started.
How long do you think it took to get some good traction and get the name out there and get a good volume of projects?
Yeah, that Bendigo is you can't bugger a job in Bendigo, otherwise everyone hears about it. So our motto, like I was on the tools, poor old Kate was feeding kids, doing emails, whatever, and I always say it's like a tightrope residential in Bendigo. I think trading under our personal name, as much as I would love to have as trade under another name, I think Bendigo's personable and it needs that personable name. Yeah. So, basically back to the start, I knew residential was going to be challenging and quoting jobs, like you hear of 4 or 5 builders quote a job and it doesn't even go ahead, or small builders will price 15, 18 jobs to get 3 or 4. It's horrible, and that really impacts on your home life and all that, because generally you've got to be on the tools making a wage and all that. Yeah. So I knew I had to diversify, and I literally went motorbike riding, which I'm still riding to, with a guy, and he looked after service stations, 21 servos and 9 depots in about an 800 kilometre radius. Yeah. He couldn't get any work done on them, so I saw that as an opportunity, and he said, look, would you go to Wodonga and do a door fix? And I'm like, oh, that'll cost you a fortune, but it was a big fuel company. And what... That doesn't cost them a fortune. Then we just went from there, didn't we? And that escalated into, long story short, about 1,000 jobs a year. From fixing a door to fitting out, fitting out service stations all over Australia.
Wow, that's amazing.
Townsville, Mackay, Rockhampton, Canberra. Still young kids at home. Bordertown, Adelaide, everywhere. Yeah, wow. We actually became small commercial registered builders in 5 states, I think, at one stage.
Oh my goodness! So that's very different to the residential side of things. How was the balance of that? How did you grow that and the residential side? We had Darren, really. We had just an amazing, and he's still with us now. A chippy right from the start, and he just, he's like family to us, and just give you the shirt off his back to anyone. And it was him and I and a couple of apprentices, but we knew we didn't want Bendigo to really know we were in that space, did we? We wanted to stay personal with our residential. Yeah. So, but it just went opportunity after opportunity, and it went from BP to Bupa Aged Care. Basically, we made 3,000 medical cabinets at Bendigo Kitchen Centre, and they went all over Victoria, New South Wales. Just one cabinet with a lock to put meds in,
Yeah, yeah. And that was basically why we won the Bendigo Business Excellence Award. So when we told that story about BP all over Australia, but everything came out of Bendigo, we beat Tallis in the final, which I swore on the Zoom because we couldn't believe that our little business had beaten. But the judges were amazed of what we took out of Bendigo all over Australia, pretty much.
That is quite phenomenal, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it sounds like
With a small team.
two parallel businesses, right? Did it
Yeah.
feel like that?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
did. Like residential, it was our passion, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it's more, and I didn't want to travel like I was traveling crazy
Yeah, because
hours
I
and
think
time,
at
so.
that time, at sort of the end of the BP days, was fourth baby was born, and then it was like they went, of course, as big companies do, to a multinational company to do their maintenance. So there was sort of a change in the way they ran their business, which was fine. But it was probably at that point that we could comfortably just go into our residential role. So it served its purpose for the time, and then it sort of sent us off on our residential way more, I guess, because we had to work harder in that because we didn't have that sort of commercial maintenance arm of our business.
From a brand building perspective, it sounds like you had a good eye on what was required from the residential side and kept the brand and the public brand really focused on the residential rather than trying to market or trying to get more BPs because there's only one or two different scale companies, right? Did you ever have an eye on like, should we go full commercial? Should we stay with residential?
No, I think we were prepared to divide. We did divide the business a little bit, like into a couple of separate companies, but we were prepared to go both ways a bit, weren't we, Kate? But the
I think
residential was
with all
picking up along the way.
and I think with commercial, there's so much compliance. It's a bit of a different kettle of fish as well, which we probably didn't love all the paperwork that comes with commercial buildings. So I think, and there's a lot, not to say there's a zillion pieces of paper with residential housing now as well, way too much red tape. But in regards to that, I think that was, I think we followed our passion more than, doing what we enjoyed more than going the other way.
I love that. It seems like it's worked for you, and that there's a common trap in businesses that are starting and growing. Right, is that you've got a sea of options, and if you try and pick too many at once, it blurs the lines, and you just got no idea what's going on. Right, and so it from an outsider's perspective, the Todd Newman Builders brand has really been strong in residential right from the start. So it's really cool to hear like a bit what was going on in the background and that you were able to get some of this commercial work to actually build a sustainable and a good growth in the residential side of things to the point where that could take off.
We needed that financial. We needed the finances from that because we were only talking about it last night, weren't we? It's we were able to employ James, our manager, who's been with us for 15 years, through that source of work, and then we were able to employ Glenn through that source of work. He's been with us for 14 years. Wow. 12, is it? Oh, I thought it was more than that. Like 14. Feels like 14, yeah. But they're just guns in our business. They're both high up managers, construction managers, just incredible. So that allowed us to employ them, afford to employ them, but continue to keep going with residential because, like I said, very personable and quality. Otherwise, you just won't make it. So,
tell me about the different big growth steps. So, employing a couple of people as managers is pretty big. Like, where was the points where you were, deciding how far do we scale this business? Like, how big do we get? Tell me a little bit about that thought.
Goodness.
you go how we went big and then went back.
Yeah. Well, we did. It's funny talking about the Bendigo Business Awards in 2016. We won that award, and all of a sudden our phone was ringing hot.
Yeah, wow.
And we got a lot of opportunities from that, which was amazing. And that's what the purpose of those things are.
Yeah.
So it was great. But at the same time, we had a massive growth in our business. Now, Todd and I, a builder and a nurse, our business grew, our staff grew, but I can honestly say our management skills in regards to the growth of our business probably didn't meet what was required. So it didn't work for us at all, that growth. It was too much. It was too much to manage. So we went through a few years of stress, feeling sick, losing money, the worst possible scenario you could ever have, and finally got to the point where it's like we actually can't manage a business of this size. We need to scale back.
Yeah.
So decision was made that we had to do that. We had to make some horrible decisions, change things, really look at our business financially, really delve into it a lot more, not just be riding the roller coaster and just going with it. We had to really, and it was really, really stressful. It was a horrible time, but I think that taught us a lot about what we as people can do and what we can manage and what we can't. And we've always sort of stuck to that since that happened. It was a great learning curve to go, okay, we can manage this many people. We are comfortable. We're happy to do this. We're going to sleep at night. This is where we're at. So I guess that's when we went, this is our model, and we're probably pretty set in our business model now. We've sort of found that sweet spot where we've got lifestyle, we've got great people, we're sort of in that zone now, so which has been fantastic. So
It's wouldn't it be nice if all of the lessons in business didn't come with a whole stack of pain and heartache?
Exactly. I couldn't agree more.
It'd be really nice, but unfortunately that's not how it rolls.
It's less is more. Less is that's what we, that was it's our biggest strength still now. A little bit less is more. We manage incredible at setting out when we can start projects, how far out we are to start the project, and all that. And as Kate said, it was finding the model, but it was because we grew and grew and grew, and it'd be 9 months flat out, 3 months carry, 9 months flat out, and Kate and I weren't using our skill set that we had learned a lot through what we'd done, and we were just managing people. So the minute we went back a bit lean and mean, we were actually getting through the same amount of work, if not more, with 4 to 5 less carpenters. So we were automatically $250,000 better off.
Wow, that's amazing, and it does take that exploration oftentimes, right? As you're stretching your skills, and you don't know where the ceiling is until you hit it and surpass it, and you're like, oh, whoa, this is not good. I've been there, and it's very stressful. It's very hard. But a wise man once told me, only the other day, he had a really good perspective on business, right? And there's a few things that you need to have a look at. One of them being the parameters of the business, like how big can it get, and how big do you want it to get? Because bigger, not always better, often much worse. And it sounds like you really ran into that and learnt that lesson pretty well. And it's still here to tell the tale, right? You were able to adapt and go, righto, now we found our sweet spot. We know what's up there. We don't want it.
No, exactly.
Yeah. I love that. So tell me a little bit about the team structure and the leadership structure. So what does your roles in the business look like now, and what does your support around you look like?
You can talk about that.
Okay, so there's Todd and I. So I'm basically do marketing, interaction with sales when they first come in, oversee our staff, organise meetings, supervise accounts, all that kind of thing, all the bits and pieces that need to be done. Todd's role is, I guess, now more of he still sees every client that comes through the door. We've always wanted to still have Todd as the face of the business and the first person you'll meet along the way. He looks after our carpenters, works out their workloads and does lots of ordering of materials and, all of that kind of stuff. And then around us, we have, Joe in accounts. We've got Anna doing contracts and permits and general admin. And then we've got James, who is like our general manager, who I actually project manage jobs as well. But James is probably our main residential project manager.
Yep.
And he, is the person when we go on holidays who, is there to run the show, I guess. And he's involved in every aspect of the business from quoting to, like I said, project management to, talking to contractors all the time. And then we've got Glenn, who is our construction manager, who is a carpenter by trade and probably one of the best, smartest carpenters in Bendigo, I would think. And he's amazing because he works on all of our jobs, getting them ready and making sure everything's all ticked off from a construction point of view. So I feel like we've got the perfect fit in our office. Everyone's got their roles and the aim is to do it to 100%. And then we've got our carpenters on site where we've got, you can talk about that.
Yeah, and our chippy's on site. So that's well said. With Kate, and I was going to say she does project manage 3 or 4 homes. She gets our easy customers and the easy build. But
Don't say that because if people are listening, they'll be like, why didn't I get Kate?
yeah. But no, it was Kate. Kate's a go-getter, big time. And if she hadn't got enough on her plate, she came in about 3 or 4 years ago and said, I'm not really fulfilled. Can I project manage James some jobs? But, went to James and asked, not me.
Nice.
So
I get bored easily.
yeah, our carpentry team is amazing, like our behind-the-scenes team.
Yeah.
Family. So we've got Darren Eastwood. He's our longest-serving carpenter. And like I said, they're all like family. Jake Marwood, Greg Chambers, Brad Dromey. They're our qualified guys. And then we've got Thomas Hopley, and we've got our young Jay Newman. Who am I missing?
That's it for the moment.
Yeah, and Angus Hunt is an amazing contractor who helps us a lot along the way. He's a brilliant carpenter as well. Nice. So that's our carpentry group of 7, and the amount of work they get through, I think we have 11 or 12 jobs under construction at the minute. Wow. Yeah, and we run it with a team of that size, so they just kill it. So, and the quality is just unbelievable.
I love it. It sounds like you got some real legends in the business. How do you find, from a leadership perspective, how do you keep people motivated, especially for a long period of time? How have you found that works to make sure people are feeling like they're part of the team, that they want to come to work, and that they love what they do? How's that people management side?
I think, again, as the business has grown, these people have grown with us. So that's kept their interest because there's new things happening all the time. Like I say that to people, our job is really actually very interesting because there's just changes happening. There's something you learn every single day. So I think we've been able to keep our team interested and engaged, and we've sort of, as the business has grown, like Todd and I have let go of things and gone, you can control that. So I think people are having their ownership of their role. We don't micromanage people because we trust that you're going to get the job done. So I think people have been able to expand their own knowledge and grow with us as a business. So I think that's worked really well.
I love that. Yeah.
Communication, we're heavy. We do I do a message every Friday, and it's a bit of a spill about what's happened for the week. So it includes the office, it includes the field staff, and it's like tomorrow in my message, which I've already done. It's about there's a slab going in tomorrow, and we've got a handover tomorrow on a job out at Reedsdale, and congratulations all involved. So it's everyone's involved. It's not an individual person who's carried out that work or anything. And then I have a spill about the weather. The weather's critical in our game, and all that sort of stuff. I get the mickey taken out of me with that a little bit. But
do ya? You're the weatherman.
He pretends he's Jane Bunn.
Yeah. So they can take the mickey out of me as much as I want. But but you can see as much the efficiency in our group. Like we hit the ground running Monday mornings, and we do 40 hours a week. Yep. It's go hard, go home. And I think when you're running hypothetically a carpentry team of $600 or $700 an hour, if you're an inefficient business person, you could lose 2 to 3 hours a week, which adds up to $70,000-$80,000 a year. So it's hitting the numbers. We're a little bit, in that volume space now of the builds we do. It's even, we've been really good on our separation of, which we're really proud of as well, separation of rubbish material, and that saves a lot of money. We separate our bricks, our plaster and everything. So that's really important for the environment. It's really important for our bottom line as well. So
Yeah. How does that work on the, like, what's the managing it poorly and what does that look like, and what does managing it well mean? Like, does it go to different places?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It can get, a lot of it can get recycled. Yeah. So, we've got really good in that space where, when the tip had to start carting the rubbish away, I had a meeting with a couple of big council people who were recommended to come to us, how good we do it. So basically, I take my cardboard out to the tip from every fit-off, which is a massive ute full. That's for free. And basically saving 2 bin lifts a job saves me about $12,000 a year.
Wow. It sounds like you've got your head around the numbers and what makes a difference and what doesn't.
I'm a numbers man.
Yeah, were you always that way inclined?
Yeah, I was. I never did trade at school. I was not a natural carpenter for my first few years. I was taught by an amazing carpenter, just me and him for like 7 or 8 years. So I learned how to be a really good chippy, but it wasn't natural at all. I was just really fortunate that I got given the opportunity, and then I hit my straps probably. Apprentices really get stressed about having, after 4 years I don't know enough, but it takes 7 or 8 years to really find your craft, So I just say, don't stress, it's all good. We're here to support you and all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
And so did you feel like you came into your natural ability when running a business by the numbers was required?
Yeah, definitely. I was sort of business management and legal. I was a bit of a rat bag at school, but I did soak in numbers and stuff pretty good. Yeah. And you can keep it really simple. Like it's not, the harder you try and do a number, I reckon, the more complex, it just doesn't sit right. Yeah. So it's just, there's some pretty basic percentages and numbers out there. So
I love that. This is a pretty easy transition to the fact that you're still here as a builder through what was a crazy time in the industry. Can you run me through what it was like on the inside of a residential builder over the last, two years? We heard so much about material prices going through the roof, builders closing left, right, and centre because they were over leveraged on projects and they ran out of cash flow. What was that like?
I think the way I look at it was we were lucky enough during COVID to keep working. But COVID, I think, killed a lot of builders in that all of a sudden we had money from the government that people were like, I'm going to build a house. But at the same time, prices were increasing. I don't think builders kept up with the price increases. Like we literally were like, add more onto that this week, add more onto that. We actually didn't have time to really quote it all out properly and make it happen. So you were really just hoping, and you were signing contracts because you had to sign a contract by a certain date. So it was a really stressful time, but I feel like it's now in 24, 25 that we're having our COVID breakdown really, because it's post that. There's so many building regulations that have come in the last 12 months. So we've been hit with price increases, land increases, new regulations which are costing the consumer a lot more money to build. Red tape is ridiculous. So everything has just got so hard.
It's crazy that there's been all of these external pressures on the building industry, but it seems like red tape, come on.
Yeah.
That's like a constructed, like an engineered issue, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would you put more pressure on an industry that's already struggling?
Yeah, that's right. Like why they didn't wait to bring in the new regulations, give us another 2 years to get over the price increases. Like, why bring it all in one?
What's happening there? What are these new regulations and why are they coming in?
Yeah, so off the back of, I think they're saying 40% market increase in the building. Like, so basically, your cost. My first thing is saying to a client as soon as they walk in, just remember $600,000 is now $780. It's horrible. Like same on land. Instead of land being 250, it's 390. So. Off the back of that, we've gone into 7-star energy ratings from 6, and we've gone into accessible living requirements, which is just more hit of financial hits. So they're just killing us. Yeah, it's shocking. So
That is full on. So that's tough. Hi there. Sorry for jumping in and interrupting the conversation, but that's actually where part 1 of this conversation ends. We are releasing these episodes in 2 parts at the same time, so you don't have to wait, but part 2 is available on the next episode. And please don't forget to subscribe to the show. If you're really enjoying these insights and the stories from regionally based businesses that are rocking it, then please hit the subscribe button so you can find out when and be notified when new episodes become available. Thanks.